Hey everybody, Rodman here for episode 3 of the Stellaris series. So I feel like I breezed over some game mechanics last episode, so I'm going to put it on normal speed and explain why I chose to do Discovery first. So I tend to like to min-max the amount of anomalies that I can find in my home system, and adopting Discovery gives you some anomaly research speed, which is nice. And then, of course, being able to find the boundaries of the territories, having the extra survey speed is nice. And then once I'm done, Faith in Science gives me more research with my pops. And then finishing it off gives me 10% research. And then I got Technological Ascendancy, which gives me another 10% research. So if we look at the technology screen, right here, you can see Fanatic, Materialist, 10%. Discovery Tradition Finish, 10%. Technological Ascendancy, 10%. I am researching a lot faster than probably most of my neighbors.
Situation log revised.
Sounds good. Doomsday weapons? Yeah. It's not actually going to give me Doomsday weapons. That's not how these things work, but I am... Okay, sounds good. So we are trying to rush Kolaktora
Scaling complete.
to get the Gaia world before they do, and then heading eastward. If there's really even an east, I want to try to grab this arm here, because going south I don't really care. Seb would be nice. I wouldn't mind grabbing Seb for the trade value, but Dur, I don't really care about Dur. Alright, so my next tradition, looking at my factions, I definitely satisfied the Materialists with getting Discovery. The Egalitarians like Dimensional Pocket. They like the tradition Prosperity or Harmony. Harmony is Spiritualist. I think they like Prosperity. And Xenophiles would like Diplomacy. So now I choose... I'm going to go with Armor. That was the little weapon test thing. Not a Doomsday weapon, just a little bit of extra research. Just checking out my colonies. I really shouldn't have done that. Oh well.
Evading competitive fleet.
Go and fix that. I meant to click the top option, which would have given me a free science ship, and instead I made them hostile. Talk about a fat finger. Alright, we can speed time up a little bit.
Research actualized.
Alright, new research. Research speed boost. Being a materialist, I like to get my research fast. And now we're just researching a bunch of anomalies. No orders on you. Alright, cool. Let's give you some more anomaly research. Yanek. You're not being useful here. Let's have you research the anomalies down there. I'm sending a fleet to deal with the raiders here. They'll get there eventually. And then I'm waiting on 19 more influence to get Kador, and then I'll get Dorfil. Oh, that science... Yeah, that science ship is still here. Actually, you know what? I can just research this anomaly and not piss them off. Alright, strategic... Okay, so one of the things about Stellaris now is many of your buildings will require volatile motes, exotic gases, and rare crystals up here.
Potential markets.
And I just found a system that has exotic gases, and they're a lot easier to obtain and accumulate on a system mining like this, because the other way to do it would be to build a building that gives you one of those resources, and the buildings themselves are a little bit more expensive. So don't do it that way if you can help it. And I think I just met another neighbor. I guess I'll investigate them. The caretaker. Yeah. So this caretaker is basically... I'm very happy about that. He's basically a robot that is immortal. And he's a very good governor. Pretty cool, right? So definitely I'll have him govern. He'll allow me to build ships cheaper and gives me more research. And he'll never die. And he'll never be elected leader because he's, you know, he's not part of my populace. Okay, so here we go. We're grabbing Cador, and then I'll get Dorfil. Don't really care about the other ones. So I'm just checking on my 2 colonies. They seem to be doing just fine. As you can see, I'm just getting through all these anomalies that are giving me a variety of random benefits and the like. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have this guy...
Upscaling complete.
This scientist is an anomaly researcher. My other scientists are not, so I'm going to have the anomaly researcher research the anomalies just because he's faster at it. And then this one, once he's done, I'll have him go back to survey. Because I'm still curious about what's this way. I don't think I'm going to expand this way too far. There's a limit of the amount of distance I'd be interested in going. But
Foreign market leaders request contact.
well, there we go. Now I know the limits. These guys might... Okay, so I'm obviously I'm boxed in.
Upscaling complete.
I was expecting that to happen. They have rare crystals at Ervang. Cool. That's a system I'd like to grab. Obviously, they're going to make a push for it too. And then my shipyard, I'm going to want to get a colony ship out to the Gaia world that I'm about to grab. Alright, so this researcher needs something to do. This one is my anomaly researcher, so with him, I'm going to start researching the anomalies. The doer guy just finished.
Situation log revised.
Found an Arassian artifact. Good for you. You know what? Actually, forget that. Let's have you rush to research.
A system has been surveyed.
Oh, they already got that. Alright, we'll survey back here. And you, my little Ibline surveyor, we will try to see if these systems are any good. They may or may not be. And this is sort of the land rush that I was referencing. You need to rush to gain as much territory as you can, because if I was slouched on this, these guys would have probably come to this choke point. These guys would come to this choke point. these guys would have definitely gobbled up the Gaia world that I wouldn't have known about had I not rushed. I would have been left with very, very few options for expansion. Okay, you've already surveyed that. Man, green is expanding fast into my territory. Alright, you are my anomaly researcher. Now, if I look here, let me pause it. My empire size is now larger than my administrative cap, which means I have to do an extra 3.6% research for tech, and my leaders cost more. My edicts cost more. Instead of 1,000, it's 1,120. So that is something to consider in the future. Is
Upscaling complete.
if you don't want to have to pay out the nose for these things. Let's grab Saya. I don't really care about this planet and whatever. They have a little tropical...
Research actualized.
Whatever. Okay. I just keep getting interrupted. I don't really need survey speed anymore. I'm just about done surveying everything I'm ever going to survey. Alright, I'm going to survey here. Okay, so there is a planet there. We'll see if I end up grabbing the land here. It's very possible that green beats me to it, as they seem to already be doing that. But back what I was going to say is...
Outlier identified.
if you don't want to be paying out the nose for stuff, if you go too wide too quick without raising that administrative cap, you'll end up
outlier identified.
sort of falling behind. Okay, so what I just found, where was I? Volatile motes. Who found the volatile motes?
Upscaling complete.
I don't even know. One of my scientists found volatile motes, which is one of those rare resources. Alright, and we'll get Dorfil Prime.
Special project actualized.
I think that was up here. Maybe not. I'll find it eventually.
Upscaling complete.
Alright, instead of actually grabbing that stuff, I'll get it later. I'm going to send my...
Potential market survey completed.
Alright, were the motes here? No, they weren't here. Thought they would be. Because no one else is really surveying anything. Motes here? Nope. I don't know. Interesting. Checking on my colonies. These colonies here are going to need some more housing soon. What I can do for housing is just build...
Research actualized.
districts. And then eventually I'll have dedicated housing. Okay, so we have... Let's get the armor. I could definitely foresee butting heads against some of my neighbors soon. And I'd like to have slightly better ships for when I do. So I'm building districts in my 2 new colonies to increase jobs and housing. These districts are like the cheap and easy way to do it.
Completed.
Okay, surveyed there. What I'm going to have this one do is head back to Dram and do whatever this thing is. Oh, this thing is just a project. I sit there. Okay.
Research actualized.
Well, then what I'm going to have him do instead is to assist research at Vrinn. Let's see. I'm not running out of room yet, so I'm not going to worry about tile blockers. I guess leader pool size and leader cost make... Oh, there's some volatile motes. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat green to them. I can always go to war with green to try to earn those, though. Wouldn't be the worst idea. But obviously, that's way more in his territory than my own.
Completed.
So I might not worry about it.
Ships upscaled.
Okay, our ships have been upscaled. The ship designer, which is here. Oh, no, wrong one. Which is here, often makes really dumb ships. So this one is... down here you can see the damage, 7.75. It doesn't necessarily design the best ships. So the numbers to beat is 775. And I guess that that was nicer. I don't know. I tend not to like the picket ship components of like flak batteries and whatnot, but I'm not going to redesign them because I just don't care. The difference of designs at the moment when I have level 1 weapons is like next to nil. It won't really matter. So yes, so I'm not going to concern myself with min-maxing the designs yet. Alright, where is my construction ship? Here he is. At the very least, we'll get Screeching Abyss and Pollux for the rare resources. Whether I get Rimborth or not, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Won't be for a lack of trying.
Complete.
My 2 colonies just added 2 housing, 2 jobs. So they'll be all set for a bit. Oh, they have moats in there too. These territories here, I really couldn't care less about. I'm planning on growing tall, not wide.
Identified.
So I'm not concerned with sort of the land grab. And these guys just closed their border to me. I'm going to declare them rivals. And the reason for it is you get a little bit more influence with rivals. And I'm probably never going to like them, so I might as well rival them. That is my thinking. And then right here on Dorfil, I'm going to create a starbase. And they rivaled me back.
Survey
Cute.
Completed.
Let's see. You guys are receptive. These two could be friendly with me. Green could be friendly too. So I'm not going to rival any of the others. I'm going to see about befriending them instead. Because I could always open up branch offices. So the way to do that is to form a commercial pact. And the Levatas here are pretty close to being able to, or wanting to, I should say.
Revised.
For me to tip the scales, I could just gift them something. And they would likely acquiesce to my request there. So let's actually go ahead and do that. I'm going to pause the game for just a moment. I'm going to exchange communications with them, which is to say I'll tell them who I've met, they'll tell me who they've met, and then I'm going to gift them some minerals. And they received that. They received a favorable trade deal. I'm almost there. All right, so what I'll do here is just gift them a few more. I'll give them food this time. So that counts for 7 minerals. Counts for 6. They care about food more. So here's some food. Alright, we're breaking even. I need to gift just a little bit more of anything. We will gift more minerals. Come on, commercial pact. There we go. I'm going to form a commercial pact with them. And they accepted it. And now, if I go to their home planet, I can open a branch office once I have more energy credits. Don't have anything I'll do that. I sold my alloys to open a branch office. And now that I have a branch office, the branch office is worth some trade value or worth some energy to me. And then I can pick, once I have a little bit more minerals, I can pick a building to put there, and we both benefit from it. So what I'll probably do is put down, what am I short on? I could do an amusement megaplex. What I'll probably put down is the private military industries. And let's do that now, just so they have a little bit more alloy. Oh, okay. So, Dram went up in population. Now I can afford a building here. Not that I need to build one. I am colonizing Dorfil, much to the chagrin of the Koloktora. Screw you guys.
Upscaling complete.
Alright, and I have a new tradition. So I'm going to go for probably prosperity. Let's look. So the specialist output is probably best from that. I probably don't need expansion because I don't really have any more things to expand to. Diplomacy increases my trade value, which wouldn't be terrible. Harmony gives me governance attraction. That wouldn't be terrible either. I'm going to do prosperity first. So adopting it gives me my mining stations increased output.
Colonial enterprise upsizing.
And what just happened here? So I have this portal research area, which gives me one portal researcher per 40 pop. Obviously, I'm nowhere near 40 pop, but that might be interesting later on. And then I have my little constructor ship. Let's build that there.
Special project actualized.
Oh, wow. Henturin just gained a bunch of research stuff. That's pretty cool. What I need to be doing, actually, is to start grabbing this trade value that's sitting on these planets. So Dorfil here, I'm building a space station, and I can tap Saya and Kador's trade value. But I have untapped trade at Rathador, Hanturin.
A system has been surveyed.
Okay, obviously, I'm not getting there first. They cut me off at Ibeline.
Upscaling complete.
So these systems are going to be a no-go. Yeah, I'll take that deal. 1-to-1 ratio. Alright, so this researcher here, I'm going to have assist it at... I'll assist at Dram. My base building... Am I producing any science here? I don't think I am, actually, but that's okay. Alright, with this guy, I'm just going to go ahead and research these anomalies before they get gobbled up by green. Green hasn't closed their borders to me. So right now, my rush is to Pollux to try to get the exotic gases, because obviously those volatile motes are a no-go. I elected a governor. I think it was a spare governor that I had, because it doesn't look like anyone got kicked out of office or anything. What I haven't checked in a while is if I have the best scientists doing science. I have a maniacal guy that I'm going to replace in my Societal research. And let's go ahead and get rid of some of these other scientists that I'm no longer using, as they cost money. As you can see, my leaders consume 22 energy per turn, and now it's 20 energy. They got a little cheaper. And that is new in this version, obviously. In previous
Upscaling complete.
Stellaris, you paid an upfront price. Okay, research agreement. Now, here's the weird thing about research agreement, and here's the truth about commercial pack, sure. The truth about this patch, honestly, is there's a lot of things that are kind of broken. So, for instance, my faction, my Materialists, really want me to have research agreements with 3 other empires. But the thing is, the amount of a research agreement costs 0.25 influence per empire that I have a research agreement with. And the kicker is, I won't gain that back. So doing that for them is a bad idea. Long story short. Which is why I'm not going to bother satisfying... Now, obviously, there's other benefits. Maybe I will have research agreements. The other problem is research agreement just allows my enemies, potential enemies, to... Oh, man. My potential enemies to gain more research, because I'm always going to be at the bleeding edge. I'm going to probably be ahead of everyone else. So it doesn't really make sense to allow other potential enemies to catch up to my research level. Which is another reason why I'm disinterested. Alright, so my Dorfield base is up. I'm going to make a trade hub. One trade hub will tap Saya and Kador. And then I'm going to make a gun battery. And that will protect it from pirates. And I'll show you that as soon as I start to get trade going. Because the piracy effects are pretty cool. Monthly engineering research. Yep. Let's do that. Oh, so there's the volatile motes. Bummer. Green just got a lot of volatile motes that I don't have access to. And won't have access to. So unfortunately for me, I won't have a contiguous border because of the caravan people. They really can't be kicked off. But you know what? I never surveyed here. I'm going to survey sort of the weird corners now. And try to get Pollux before they do.
Research actualized.
We got some more research in. Improved deflectors and mining station output increased. Let's see if there's a better scientist. Nope, there's not a better scientist to put in for there. So if I look here, I am creating 2 alloys per month from corporate jobs. And then this is also producing energy credits. No, I'm not interested in your bunk destroyers. Alright, so now that Dorfield has a trade hub, as you can see here, we are tapping these 2 trades. And if I look here, the maximum amount of piracy that this trade lane can generate is 2. -2. The current piracy effects is 0 because the current piracy is 0, and I am protected up to 2. So I don't actually need the gun battery to protect this current trade, but the trade value is going to go up when Dorfield gets colonized because planets themselves generate trade as well. Sabtrack will generate some trade soon as well. Complete. So I'll explain this more. Ooh. Let's search
Situation log revised.
the abandoned ship. And maybe I find something. Oh, that's there. I have to search it with a construction ship. That's odd. Okay. Is it timed? Yes, it is timed. Maybe I just make another construction ship. And see these little skulls? Yeah, here we go. I am sending... Yep. I just gained some minerals from salvaging their stuff. Alright, so here's a really good example. I am trading 8 trade value from Saya and Kador, and it has to go through all of these systems back to my home system. So as you can see, now there's potential piracy for that entire line. And if this was an enemy, and they'd closed their borders, I wouldn't be able to send trade through it. But obviously, they aren't an enemy, and I can send my researchers through it. So what I'm going to do with
Upscaling complete.
this surveyor, because he's a surveyor, I'll just have him go and survey the rest of the galaxy. All right, so we have this construction ship that we needed to tap the research.
Identified.
I also wanted to grab Seb. Man, these enemies are really closing in on my borders quick. No, I don't want your stupid destroyers. Quit asking.
Upscaling complete.
Alright, so now Doorfill Station. So here's where it gets interesting. Doorfill Station, I just made a gun battery, which adds trade, protection, and protection range. So now, if I look, this is protected up to 15 trade value because of that gun battery. So now, as you can see, the maximum amount of piracy is -2, and I'm protected up to 15. I have a lot more protection than I need, but that is the way to protect yourself from pirates. It's pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to build that research station on my way to this, because 2 of every research sounds pretty good to me. Come on, green. Don't absorb Pollux. Check in on my planets. I got 3 housing, 2 housing, 7 housing.
Situation log revised.
Cool. These Zevin Labs. Oh, it's right here on my home system. Sometimes it has you like halfway across the galaxy. Although that might be different. It used to be that way, but maybe that's not true anymore. Well, I just realized I'm well over my time. So really soon, I guess you this episode we saw branch offices. And yeah, we saw how important it is to do a land rush, because obviously if I land rushed a little faster, although it would have been really hard to try to get these systems from green before they expanded there. Wow, they have a giant... Man, I wish I had green's start here. Oh, it's a holy world. Never mind, they can't even use that. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next episode should get a little spicy, as I'm in a cold war with these guys and, you know, potentially 3 trade partners nearby. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in next time. Adios, everybody.